back on your productivity on those days where you felt sick or lacked energy or lacked motivation can be not fun. I often mention my Notion productivity system to my friends just because Notion's a big part of how I'm living my life and organizing things, and because this channel's largely about how I'm living my life, I've mentioned it a bunch on here too. And when I talk about tracking my time and productivity over a week, I've had a few folks say, I've tried it, but when I have a week where I don't get much done, or I have a day where I'm not that productive at all, tracking that feels so demoralizing that it makes me not want to track my productivity at all. And I think that's fair, not everyone wants to track their time. This video is not to say that you have to track your tasks and your projects and your productivity. It's definitely not for everyone. But if you're someone who does see the value in tracking your productivity and is interested in it, but you don't want to feel that sense of discouragement when there's a week where you get less done than expected, then I want to offer you a reframe. So here's how I'm thinking about my productivity and task management, and how, in my mind, what would be typically classified as an unproductive day doesn't actually feel like a failure. Hey, it's your girl Ahsante, helping you move consciously and creatively through life, so let's go. So in my mind, there are two dominant sides of the discussion around productivity. There's hustle culture, that sleep when you're dead mentality that puts productivity and striving above all else, including our own health and wellness. This is especially relevant within neoliberalism, which emphasizes individual agency, self-reliance, working hard for what you get, and only getting what you work for, rather than having a system that supports our collective well-being. Since under that system the market is so dominant, we tend to think about our own market value, that is our salaries or the market value of the things that we produce, as core to our personal value, which isn't the case. Or we're thinking about, well, if I can't work, then I can't eat, so I must have to work super hard to get any of the resources that I'm gonna need, grind, and that can lead to overwork. And then there's just that drive for high achievement and recognition. I definitely relate to this as an artist. You want your work to be visible and recognized and to get noticed, and you tend to have to work hard for that. And then on the other side of the coin, there's the total rejection of hustle, or rejection of work altogether, in favor of slow living, renouncing achievements, and not feeling the pressure to do anything in particular at all. This can take the form of reducing your consumption, so you need to work less, dropping out of traditional work entirely, deciding not to pursue accolades or climb the corporate ladder, or it can be an intentional slowing down of your day-to-day lifestyle and opting out of the fast pace of media and technology. The book How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell is an interesting study on this. As you might imagine, I fall somewhere in the middle. I love working. I can't even lie. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'm gonna go to work. I feel like my work is meaningful and adds value and contributes positively to society, which is important to me. And although I don't pursue a ton of luxury, I do like nice things. I do be liking my nice things though. But I also don't want to work myself to the bone. That also is not cute. I want to prioritize my health and my relationships. Y'all see me out here trying to jog every day. And I don't want to value productivity above all else or feel pressure to be productive at all times. I think that's where productivity gets toxic. So overall, my perspective is that I'm using productivity to specific ends. Productivity with a purpose. It's not productivity for its own sake. It's so I can live a happy, healthy, fulfilled life as someone who likes to make things and as someone who wants to have a positive impact on the people around them. Productivity is about getting work done, and work is defined in Oxford's dictionary as an activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or result. Making things that impact other people, cultivating community, being physically active, sharing ideas that I think are important. Those things make me happy, and those things all take intentional action. All of that is what I'm tracking when I'm trying to manage my tasks and productivity. It's a holistic approach. So since I do have to work, not just for my own livelihood, but also because I have to get things done for myself in general, then the question becomes, how can I get my work done most effectively while tending to my other needs as a human and while not punishing myself for being human? So this is not about maximizing the amount of work done per day. A key part of my framing is that I'm not trying to get as much work done as possible, but I am trying to get certain results by a certain time. If I can put in fewer hours to get those results, all the better. Tracking can help me to figure out ways to do that, ways that I might be putting in extra non-necessary hours. And tracking can help me to realize that maybe that certain time that I wanted to have the result by isn't actually a reasonable deadline, so I should push that back. And next time I'll be able to better set expectations about what that deadline would be. I find this really helpful because, especially as a creative, losing track of time while you're working is kind of the goal. You want to be in that flow state where you are fully absorbed in the task at hand and the ideas are flowing and you're expressing yourself and you are one with the creative universe. So if you didn't write down the time where you started doing all that, then it's super easy to not know how long your process usually takes. For example, I used to think that because I was writing my videos and developing my ideas in unpredictable ways, that the timeline that I needed to write the videos was also unpredictable. But after keeping track, I realized that even though I couldn't predict where the video was going, the time it took me to get there was remarkably consistent. Especially as I figured out what specific things helped me to get into that creative flow. I did a whole other video about what my creative flow process looks like. But once I figured that out, I'd find that the ideas would start coming and I'd be able to finish a script in a set amount of time. Ultimately, I see productivity tracking as a tool to help me to make better decisions. I'm trying to think of this not as a tool to maximize the volume of work that I can get done, but to observe my own abilities realistically so that I can plan accordingly, or so that I can scale back my expectations of myself. I want to monitor, learn my own pace, make better decisions about what I need to support my ability to work, and what I need to set deadlines that can allow for me to have those off days. It's data for me to analyze, not to judge. Managing your productivity is really about managing three things: your time, energy, and attention. Just like even though money can be uncomfortable, having a budget and tracking your spending can help you to know your spending limits and help you to make better financial decisions. Having a system to manage my productivity helps me to know my activity limits and helps me to make decisions about how to allocate my time, energy, and attention. And then there's just that layer of acceptance, like, hey, I'm not gonna be perfect. Y'all have seen my reflections on this channel. There's been a lot of me realizing that I'm not gonna achieve everything all the time, even though I want to. We have slow days, we have slow weeks, we have slow months, and I'm much more okay with that now than I used to be. This is especially relevant for artists. We put so much of ourselves into our work, and we want it to be seen in a particular way, to come off just right, to add all the artistic flourishes and final touches. And when we're not able to produce at the level of detail that we want, it can be frustrating. I will always know the finishing touches that I wanted to put on the piece, and I can often be my own harshest critic. Not judging yourself is hard. Shifting the focus of my productivity to being about intentionally managing my time, energy, and attention has helped me to not only get the desired results that I want, but to live an effective, fulfilling, well-rounded life. If right now you're in a space of harshly judging yourself based on your productivity, then you might like this video where I go through how I got out of my own productivity-obsessed way of judging myself. Shout out to the brilliant beings who are supporting my work and making these videos possible. And as always, remember to live spiritedly and think creatively, and I will see you next time.